Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fool's Landing, our AD&D second edition campaign set in the Forgotten Realms. Tonight, we're going to be playing session 41. I'm the Dungeon Master for this game, and my name is Jamie, and I'm joined tonight by 5 tremendous role players. I'm going to have introduce themselves and their character real quick, going from left to right on my screen, starting with Chris. Good evening.
Oh, hey. I'm playing Kurza, 5th level Elven Mage.
Yes, indeed. And next up, we have Tim. On
Tim,
There we go.
I'm playing Griff. He's
a still 4th level. I'm muted. Alright.
I think it's just cutting out a little bit.
I'm Tim. I'm playing Griff. I'm still 4th level, human-ish ranger.
Awesome. Yep. Yeah, it's just cutting out a little bit and maybe delayed. That's what I'm hearing. But we're good to have you. You're inching up on 5th level, so we'll take a look at that in a second. But next up is Wayne.
Okay.
Hello.
Good evening, brother Tim. It might be that government laptop,
I
man.
think I'm like
Bandwidth
300
issues
away.
on voice. Yeah. Anyway, hey, I'm Wayne. I'm playing Saharn, a brand new 5th level aquatic elf.
Yeah.
And not entirely sure we might survive this. As we were talking earlier, we do tend to get beat up a lot in this game. We spend a lot of time licking our wounds, man. A lot of time licking our wounds.
Seems like it's definitely been that way the last couple of sessions that you've run into some big things. But yeah, good to have you back. And next up, I've got Adam.
Adam, playing 5th level cleric, Bartholomew.
All right, got you. And you're a little muffled. Your sound's a little muffled. I could pick you up, but it might be maybe adjusted just slightly up or something maybe to clear it up slightly. But I can hear you mostly. But yeah, good to have you, Adam. Last but not least, this evening we have Brandon. Hello.
Hello, I am Brandon. I am playing Nod, a Minotaur Shadow Thief. I believe I am level 5.
You are. Yes, indeed, and good to have you. So tonight we're going to take a quick look at the XP tracking. No one leveled up, but Griff is painfully close. He's less than 250 XP away from 5th level, so he's right on the cusp. He should certainly make it here shortly. After
I'm blacked out.
oh, you're not seeing anything?
No, I can read them. We're just in black. Nod and I are in black text.
Oh, I see. I think it's, yeah, the foreground color and background color are mixed up a little bit. Let's see.
I'm making a joke of it. Don't worry.
Let me get
15, 188. I'm doing good.
There we go.
You're
Right.
generous DM, dude. I love you.
You guys have earned it. You're just telling me that I'm putting you through the grinder. I definitely am finding a way to recognize your efforts. I hope. But
well,
yeah.
I also say I don't mind. As we were saying earlier as we were talking, I don't mind it. I love it, man.
And I think Nod would be maybe the next closest to go up. He's 100 away after Griff. But yeah, pretty soon we'll have all level 5 and up. And probably a level 6. All right. Going back to last session, does anyone want to give a recap of what's transpired since you arrived in this underground cave system? I know you fought a hag in session 39, and then last session you were healing from that, and you took off from that cave and ventured inward.
Was everybody seeing the same background screen? Because those two critters, on the ground there. Yeah. That's pretty much what happened last session, right?
Well, I think at the start we left the cave. Go ahead, Griff. Go ahead.
But yeah, we were in those caves. We camped out, and that's where Nod told us he's from here. Urza pulled his library out of his belt and shared it with Baden and gave us some information. I don't know if you guys are still hearing me okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
let's see. Then that night, Bart had a vision and saw a heroic figure through the mist walking in a field. Seemed to be lost, and as he got closer, he realized it was a Mithra. And then she turned toward him, but her face was Veritas. And then he woke up and looked over, and Saharn was looking right at him. Both realized they'd been blessed with some kind of energy from their deities and a new spell that allowed them, called Gentle Repose or something like that, allowed them to preserve a body. Saharn cast out on a Mithra so that she was preserved. Then later on, Baden and Renwick were in a heated discussion. Nod snuck up what they were talking about. Basically, they were just at odds. Baden wanted to go to Minotaur.
Oh.
Renwick wants to go to the Underdark, and they're not going to agree to go the either or way. Shared that with us, so we realized that at some point we're going to have to make a decision. Then a Minotaur, Nod smelled a Minotaur coming, and it was somebody who knew him from when he was here before. Said he wouldn't interfere, but he also wouldn't help us. Then we
A little
started
background on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
A little background on that. That was probably the one friend that Nod actually had in this maze. The other one that he approved of, per se. The rest were more. Yeah, more did show up and actually did attack the party.
2 more, yeah.
Yeah, two showed up, and we fought. We proceeded into the maze, and we were going through the maze, and then suddenly a wall collapsed. 2 Umber Hulks appeared, and that was pretty much the rest of the session. We fought off the Umber Hulks. I was attacking Nod. Bart was attacking Saharn. Finally made it through, survived, and followed their tunnel back to their lair to heal up and lick our wounds for a little bit where we left off.
Yeah, this was your ally, Tornuk. He is Nod's former friend and now conflicted acquaintance, but he is the one that sort of told you that he wouldn't interfere. And then you actually killed 2 others. You killed this one, Vernick, and you killed Thraxus, this other one. They were both considered to be seekers, scouts who wander and roam the cave and look for edges of the cave where people might be coming in and dispose of them typically, or capture and return them. But that they were not your most significant threat last session by a mile. These 2 slain Umber Hulks were, and they were 4,000 XP apiece. These are
Really?
8 hit die plus 8 creatures who don't mess around and can definitely inflict their fair share of damage, and include up to and including an ambush attack that they launched on you all.
Yeah,
Part
they
of
had us the first part of that fight. They were definitely on the winning side.
Bart
They
really
had the
pulled us
momentum.
out during that fight.
for sure. Yeah, and so now the situation in part is they did collapse part of the cave to do this attack, but also Kurza collapsed some more of the cave by using rock to mud, I believe, from his wand.
Yep.
So I
on
have
the ground though, right? Yeah.
yeah, so I've updated the map. The map should be accurate. I'll move us over to the map now.
Say, I believe we did rest. We went into the cave and did rest as well.
Yeah, you crawled
where
up.
they came out.
Yeah, in their space, and you found their treasure as well, and then you camped out in there. I don't think we've stepped through the Night's Watch necessarily yet. I think that was just where we left off, so we'll go ahead and pick up there. Is there a watch order that has been established I should follow? Is it in your sheets or something? I think there was one. And I'll do this quickly. I'll just roll to see.
I believe with the Ring of Sustenance, not only needs like the 2 hours or 4 hours. Or something. So he's willing to take multiple burn orders.
We've got what, 3 or 4 watches?
How about as the suggestion then, as a standard operating, Nod sleeps first. Sleeps his 4 or 5 hours, whatever he needs. And he's on watch the rest of the night, and he's good to go and wake us up in the morning.
Yeah. So
That's,
you just
the
need
party
to.
could work well that way.
Mm-hmm. If you just
I'll
want to
work
cover the
opposite
beginning,
Nod then.
I
Yeah.
think the casters need to have a full night's rest in order to replenish their spells. So
Yeah.
if there's anyone that you want to shorten the shifts for, it would be the casters. Give them more time down. Renwick can
What
take a
about the
watch. Say that again.
hirelings? We should have the 2 pirates, Renwick, like you said. I think that would be it.
Gregor.
Grift as well.
Yeah,
Gregor.
I left Gregor and Quigley and the other guy back behind you since you had an imminent threat. You went in and told them to stay behind a little bit, but if you want to retrieve them and have them come in and camp with you, you can definitely do that. If
That
you guys
would
are
probably
thinking
be
that.
safer for them.
Okay. I'll move them in here. What
I can stay up the
And
first
Mithras-
2 watches and sleep the next 2 watches,
I'll
or just
And
the
Mithra's
reverse.
body as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to put them all into one token. I've got them all stacked on top of each other for the sake of space. They are the yellow token, all 3 of them collectively, Gregor and the 2 pirates. We won't worry too much about them as far as interactions unless it's forced upon us. Yeah, they can definitely participate in the watch and whatnot.
Yeah, maybe just to be safe, maybe make both the pirates stay up for one watch 2 hours. We'll make Griff or Renwick watch the next hour, and
All right.
Nod should be able to at least watch the rest. If there's anybody else who's up who doesn't need sleep, they can join.
All right. So I just rolled these in 2-hour blocks each roll, and I have a table based on the area that we're in that tells me what, if anything, happens. Wow, I rolled exceptionally good for you guys. The first hour, whoever's on watch during the first 2 hours, there would be something interesting that does occur, that down this hallway, this cavern way, which would be from your vantage point up in the ceiling down in this direction, at one point you believe that you see some light, and the light was almost like bluish. Just for a few moments you saw it, and then it went away. It never got closer. It's like it almost just passed by further down the corridor. So you were certainly like on peak awareness from that point forward, and you told everybody else, but no one else notices anything else throughout the entirety of the night. And the morning comes, or at least let's say the time needed to rest passes. You wouldn't know what time of day, if the sun still exists or the moon still exists at this point. It is dark. What is the lighting situation like? Again, just remind me of, I know most of you or some of you have dark vision, but those of you who don't, what is your lighting situation? And in particular, the pirates, like, they could carry light if needed, but I'm just curious what you would do.
I know we had at least 1, maybe 2 torches or lanterns.
Didn't we cast continual light on something for someone?
Yeah.
Oh, we also have the candle of ever burning as well.
I was gonna say we had the candle, found a lantern, and some oil.
Nod
the
has a few
pirates can
torches.
carry those. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We blend in.
Parts
gonna
had
have-
a little pebble with light on it for quite a while too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so Bart's got his.
Um,
What about the
well,
pirates? Are they carrying the lantern? The crew? Okay.
I guess in the candle, right?
Okay.
That's what
Um,
lackeys are for.
I was gonna ask about the blue light. Is it like the blue lights that were in the tower?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say it reminded you of that a little. Yeah, I would say that it wouldn't be terribly far off in the way it looked to you. Yeah. Yeah, good question.
And we did find elves in the maze. And Nod said he hadn't seen elven bodies before.
Red
Right,
ones.
that's true.
Yeah, they were dead.
Yeah, not still intact.
Yeah, pretty chewed up. In fact, pretty tore up. Not just, mutilated, but picked through and everything. Just nothing much left. But
98% lean meat.
Maybe it was those Umber Hulks.
So what's your morning look like here, or your beginning of your day? I think the casters are rested up. You guys should all benefit from your sleep to get your con bonus +1. And if anyone wants to cast to heal anyone, this might be your chance to huddle up and do that.
Should they roll medicine and herbalism to see if they can also benefit us with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We roll D8 for that? Or 4?
Proficiency, I believe. Could
Yeah,
be
it's
your
proficiency.
herbalism.
Shit.
Healing or both? Healing and herbal.
Both. If we want to benefit from both, you would have to roll both. It sounds nice.
Aw.
So it should be, yeah, I think with the 2. There should be a way for you to post it. If not, maybe I'll go find it.
Herbalism.
Yeah.
I believe it's 1 if you just have healing. If you have herbalism and healing, it's +3. So you get your 1 for resting and the +3, and then your constitution.
Self-administered
So-
and administered to others as well, correct?
So that's what, basically 4 points for everybody
Yes.
for Constitution.
Okay. There we go.
Wow.
Woohoo!
I'm at 29 out of 39.
Really? I'm still wounded 20 points, but I have 13, so we're good.
That's weird because your
Sounds like you need to be healed some more.
token,
Both of you.
your token is.
I don't know.
like
Our
that.
cleric needs to be healed, and our
I don't know, man.
tank needs to be healed.
The combats we have, Chris, yeah, I tend to be afraid to heal myself because you guys seem to, Griffin and Brandon take a
Yeah,
lot.
but at this point, we need you healed up so that you can stay alive long enough to heal up everybody else.
So one thing, Kurza, that we had talked about, we found some items. I think you
Yeah.
cast detect magic on them, and there was some leather armor that might really benefit me if we could figure out if it's not cursed.
Who was wearing the leather armor?
There's a way you can find out, bro.
I had it, but
conveniently?
Say, did we find it from one of the Minotaurs or the dead body?
Umber Hulks.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the last
There.
one.
It was the recent horde.
There were 2 items that I was interested in: the hand axe and the leather armor.
Yeah.
If we
It's up to you
stay,
guys. I was
if we
gonna
stay
say,
a
it's up
day
to you.
here,
Want to blow spells
then-
on it? I'll wear it, but I don't want it to be cursed. So I want it to be a benefit.
I'd rather you have it because I think it'll benefit game tactic wise to have you harder to hit. But if you won't try it on, so Harm will try it on. I won't be afraid of a curse. I'm gonna rely on my faith, belief that I will help be seen through that. In other words, wear it.
Sounds like
Just put it on.
Sounds like it's time for someone to put it on. So it's
All
any
right,
objections to? I think he's just trying to make sure that there's no objections to Griff putting it on.
Go ahead, do it, Griff.
All right.
All right.
Now the question is, can you take it off?
Yeah.
Goes on and off
It's not-
beautifully.
Yep.
Okay. So I have what I'm calling leather armor, unknown magic.
Okay, got it.
Bravo.
oh, do you want me to identify things? We can get everybody healed up and then
It's too
identify
dangerous
stuff.
to
But
stay here for that long, Cursa.
Yeah,
We
okay.
should
Oh,
move on quickly. We've already
I
stayed here for
understand.
long enough.
all right.
Understood.
I'm going to heal myself twice in prayer
Okay.
before we set out for the day. Hopefully. Okay, 11. That'll work.
Yep.
I'm
Did you
only
have-
down 9, so that's a good way to start. I'm happy. We're good.
Good.
And Renwick and
Okay.
Baden, they look fine as well.
Yeah, Renwick is about 3/4. Baden, I don't think you guys know yet how to read him, but he looks like he's doing fine.
I think he got hit.
Yeah, he didn't take much damage in these last couple frays. What was that, Adam?
I was just gonna say, does anybody else want cure lights or not here? I think I'm down by
Probably
8.
Griff and
Down
Saharn
10.
are most down.
Griffin and Saharn still here, so
Yeah, probably Griff
Yeah, but
first and then Saharn.
I'm only down 9. Basically, one
I'm
good
down
heal
10.
spell. I'm still concerned about if we run into something heavy. People start
When
getting
has
hit
that
for
ever happened?
You're right. Jamie's a soft DM, guys. Soft.
Good roll.
how about for
Go ahead.
1? And then I've still got 4 left if I think we need him at some point. I'm down, I think, 8, but
35 out
20,
of 39.
27.
Good.
Yeah, Renwick and Baden seem like they're fine to move forward. Save your spells, friend.
Now, if you start getting hit for 11 and 14 points of damage in a single round, we tend to use 2 or 3 spells up on you real quick.
This is true. Oh, okay. So Nod's leading the way, I assume. And is the rest of the order staying as is here? With Nod being number 1 in this list, are the pirates at the end?
Yes. I guess the only way we can make this better would be Renwick taking the bat.
The back? Okay.
Yeah. Have him just watching the rear. He's more observant than I'm sure the pirates would be.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because that could be dangerous with things coming up behind us.
Yeah. Gregor's in that mix with the pirates, by the way. He's in that pile. Okay, Nod, you are sneaking, or not sneaking, but you're staying in the shadows, and then I assume moving silently as well.
Yes. There was one other thing I did want to do. I have to double check what it actually is. The Gem of Seeing. And I was going to attempt to use that this time before continuing to move forward, looking through that to see if there's anything hidden or...
Yeah, let me just double check.
That's why I'm not on my character. Rogue, this would be... I move silently.
Oh.
It is a gem. Blue Gem of Seeing. The Gem of Seeing enables the user to detect all hidden, illusionary, invisible, astral, ethereal, or out-of-phase things within viewing range.
Okay, it requires 1 round to scan a 200 square foot area in a cursory manner, 2 rounds to view a 100 square foot in a careful way, and there's a 5% chance each time the gem is used, the viewer will see an hallucination. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's see.
So percentile?
Yep, you can roll a percentile, and then we'll basically say that you're pausing to scan that area, and yeah, it's basically going to show you if there's any illusionary or hidden or astral or out of phase things in that space. And
Illusionary, invisible, astral, ethereal,
mhm,
hidden.
Hidden,
yeah.
you know, when you get into that temple room, finally you fight your way to the treasure at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful item. It's a
Yeah,
very nice item.
I think your view or your vision right now is clear through the gem. You don't see anything that stands out as being any of those. So you feel relatively safe that this section is clear of that.
And with that, he would move up to the end of the hallway.
All right.
That is, unless Jamie just rolled a 5 or less, in which case.
Let me file you guys forward just so everybody's getting more of a view here on their token.
I can even slide forward just so everybody can squeeze
Yeah,
in here.
these
and look.
last two are NPCs, so
Yeah.
they're good. Yeah. So yeah, you come into this open area now where you see scattered on the floor again some more remnants of what appear to be the same group, possibly of elves that you saw earlier that look tore up and mangled, much left to speak of. Definitely nothing of value, more difficult to really just identify the bones and scattered remains of what appeared to be maybe 3 or so elves that were doomed in this area from something. There are several ways out of this room, but let's see. The thing I want to tell, okay, is Nod, you get the scent, an odor coming to you from this direction. South.
South.
Yeah, the other directions you're not getting much of a hit of anything discernible, but you notice something in this direction familiar for sure.
I will silently wave and give the signal back that just pointing out there's something in front of us. And kind of point towards this way for the party to avoid this conflict or encounter per se.
Okay.
So I'll get here, and with that, I will take a look through the gym through this way.
Okay.
I'll tiptoe behind you.
All right. Yeah. So you guys make your way over. Nod's he has to pull that gem out and really squint to look through it and really try to make out anything that he sees through it, which in this case, when you look down the hall through the gem itself, you see what looks almost like a mist in this direction. But when you're not looking through the gem, you don't see this mist. So something in this direction seems to appear through the gem itself.
And it's all the way down at here. I'm just moving. It's not up here per se. It's further up
it's
here.
up here in this area where you're seeing this kind of mist glowing through the gem a little bit, and to your naked eye, there's nothing there.
I will. I think I have shot. That's something I could pull out and write on the ground. Just nice and easy. Just putting an X right here. Don't go this way.
Okay. Nice.
I have chalk too, so.
Oh,
Nice. Okay, so he's
And-
gonna mark it so everyone knows which way to follow and which way not to. I'll move these guys up.
And I'll step over here and look and peer around the corner again, using the gem to make sure there's nothing hidden and visible. It's, ethereal.
Okay. No, this time you don't see anything that catches your attention through the gem. So you're able to continue to push forward.
And again, maybe I'll just double checking. I didn't see anything noticeable, but I'm
we
just
go.
taking a gander for traps and everything.
I'm gonna mark
Go ahead.
the walls with arrows too. Arrow pointing the way we are going.
Okay.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's making it easy for the others to keep up with you all in front.
Yeah, and any wandering monster can find the
Yeah,
trail.
perfect.
The Minotaurs can follow the way.
They
Breadcrumbs.
must really think though, they must be questioning, is this a trap? Which it could easily become. But yeah, you're not able to find any traps, Nod, and you make your way, you can make your way around the bend there. And as you make your way around the bend, you can check through the lens again. And as you're looking through the lens this time, there seems to be on the far wall something that looks like writing on the wall when you're looking through the lens, but in again, to your naked eye, you don't see anything on that wall. It looks like some kind of symbol. It's a little far away for you to try to discern what the symbol might be, but it's definitely noticeable through the lens that it's lit up on that far wall right here.
And with that information, I will maybe turn back towards the party and menacing look back and kind of point towards Kurza whenever they catch up and tell them to come here.
Okay. Kurza, you see Nod waving you forward.
Okay.
I'll hand him the gem and tell him to look for it as well to see what it is, and maybe he knows more about this.
Okay.
Okay. I'll look through it and look where he's pointing.
Let me open a... Actually, I'll just throw it here on the map. It'll be easier. So, I'm going to make this really big on our map. You can see the symbol here in the middle of the screen, hopefully, that popped up. And it appears...
I think if you put it slightly closer to the thing, we can see it better.
Oh,
The
you guys...
NPCs.
You guys...
It's in the wall, so it's slightly...
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah, it might be better if I just... So there's this symbol on that far wall that, Kurza, you immediately know this is some type of magical rune. And if you could make a spellcraft check, I believe, then you could try to determine what this rune does.
Let's see. Spellcraft.
I think it's spellcraft.
Bing.
Yeah.
And ding.
Nice. Okay, not hard, terribly hard for you to figure out
Right.
that this is a wild magic rune, which
Oh,
you
geez.
know means that
Trouble.
either spells that are cast in this area will be returned at the caster, or the spell will be changed in some way and potentially could be helpful or harmful. So it's not clear in what sense the magic changes, but that's what you know of to be wild magic, and this symbol would be something you would have known for sure.
Okay.
Well, magic is always fun.
What's the... Is the rune itself the source of this, or is this just a written warning?
I think this is more of a warning in this case. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a label.
I'll let
Yeah.
Saharn know, and Bartholomew and
Baden.
and Baden,
Saharn.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saharn would suggest if this is a wild magic zone, I would hate to be caught here. I suggest we get away as quickly as possible, spend as little time near this. If we get
Indeed.
into combat here, anything could happen. I'm
No,
not
we'll
afraid
just
of-
stick his hand back out for the gem and
Okay. There's looking glass. Yeah, you can make your
Okay.
way towards the end of this hallway, Nod, and this is when you start to get a scent. You're picking up on a scent from further in and down and around the next corridor that smells familiar to you. It is definitely one of your kin or your likeness that you smell in that direction.
yeah, he'll give a warning to halt to slow everybody down before we just move forward. You'll see him sit there and think for a moment, trying to ponder what we should do.
Do we have a rogue scout?
I'm not thinking, because if we cannot cast magic, if he is further forward, we will be at a disadvantage. He will plausibly cast magic or other things. We will just be at the disadvantage. So he's
Does,
considering pushing the party back to this other route. Not
Does wild
the south
magic
route.
affect? Does wild magic affect like wands, rings, things like that?
Yes.
Probably.
I think all, yeah.
Yes.
I think so
it
too.
does,
I
yeah.
agree.
Magical swords, magical armor. Who the heck knows?
Not so much like necessarily like things that are enchanted as much as trying to generate magic
Yeah,
from
if I
something.
cast something from
Okay.
a ring
Yeah.
or a wand.
Yeah,
or,
like bringing in something magical isn't necessarily affected, but yeah, creating magic within the zone riskier.
How does assassination work in your game, Jamie? Send the rogue with a dagger.
the reason I was that
Just a couple of rolls away, pretty much, right? That's everything is just a couple
Yeah.
of rolls away. If
You
the
know,
reason I was asking.
are you one of those DMs that will make us roll to hit the unconscious drunk man on at the pub?
No, I would make you roll just to make sure you didn't roll a 1, but
We have
yeah.
had though, haven't we all had that DM roll to
Oh,
hit?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's just muscle memory. You're like anytime you're going to hit something, you're thinking that way. But yeah, you definitely have to adjust for the situation.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You could roll a 1 and trip over your own feet, and there goes that plan. But
yeah, I think
all
just
right,
for that 5%
comic
chance
relief,
that you completely
comic relief.
screw it up,
Uh-huh.
it's worth the roll. But otherwise,
Are we
I was
going
asking
back
about
then?
Yeah, the reason I was asking about the wild magic is at one point Renwick had said he has an ability to turn visible.
that's right.
Oh, right.
Would that be affected by wild magic?
In his
Is
case,
it in?
he's got something that he can activate or consume, so you would think it wouldn't be subject to wild magic. He's not a
This,
caster. He's not able to create magic, which it's like the weave of magic that exists in this particular area has been altered. So when you try to generate magic inside of the zone, you're going to get a random an unattended effect very likely. Yeah, again, you can bring in effects, but you can't generate them.
So that's not going to affect him, or that's not going to protect him from the Minotaur being able to smell him. But
Yeah, that's true.
let's keep that in the back of our heads if we want him to sneak ahead. Not if you find a place where
Might be
whatever,
right. We might be able to go. Yeah. So far, he does not actually recognize any of this. This is,
all right.
I believe,
shall we?
this corridor. He
Shall
came
we
through the
heed
maze, not
the?
corridor.
If you can smell them, can they smell you?
Indeed. So he would encourage us to backtrack. It's dependent on we probably smell him because he's been there for a while. We just arrived, so our scent eventually would drift down there, depending on how long we're just standing.
Okay.
Yeah, so which
and
way
where
is
the
Nod
AC
thinking?
vents are.
Right here where Saharn is, right this south.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
trying
leave.
to be sneaky and hugging this wall, and again pointing out that we don't want to be down this way to the party.
Right.
It's south, southern, far southern. I'm not walking over there to draw, but this area.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, when you start, you can go ahead and put yourself wherever you're standing to use the gem at.
It'd be down this hallway.
Okay. So when you're looking down in that direction, the oh, I meant to tell you, so the mist that you saw that was glowing up here was bluish. Once again, when you look down this hallway, you see this bluish mist down and around the corner. It definitely appears through the gem itself. Yeah.
I'll encourage Cursor to come take a look again. He might. Last time it worked. Let's see if it works again.
Okay.
I don't know. We might end up having to investigate this stuff, guys.
Does that gem have charges, or is it just?
No.
No, that was the CMOS with charges.
Yeah, no, the gem is just really just it just takes time. Keep in mind we're doing it quickly, but he's got to take 2 rounds to stare through this thing to pick up what he's picking up. So you guys are going very slowly and calculatedly. Yeah. Okay.
Would this be something that Bart would be able to enhance? So your deity?
Yeah, that's something possibly. Bart might have a different interpretation of some of these things than Kurza. That's for sure.
Take a look through the gem.
Yeah, you
See
can
what
step
I
up.
see.
Okay, yeah, you would see the same mist that Nod was speaking about. It's like a bluish, glowing mist that you would associate with some type of something that's probably like an ancient magic that, but you're not seeing anything specifically that it does or doesn't do. It just looks like whatever the magic is, it seems to linger in that area.
Let's try detect magic down the hallway.
Okay, yeah, detect magic down the hallway.
Yeah, and let's keep it running so I can get at the very least, maybe a school of magic out of it.
Okay, yeah, when you cast the magic or detect magic down the hallway, it almost looks almost exactly the same as when you looked through the gem itself. Almost like the
Okay.
gem was showing the pulse of this magic, and it looks like the wall itself, this wall itself, is like the center of where the magic is coming from. As far as School
wall?
of Magic, this one, around this right here, and the School of
So
Magic,
the wall itself is generating it.
yeah, seems like alteration.
Alteration magic on a wall.
So
Wall might not be there.
yeah, and then I think for Nod's not necessarily been through this area. He's not as familiar with it, but he knows that Minotaurs will sometimes have magic that they use to change and morph the space. Like a wall could change and move if they desired it to, so that if you pass through, let's say, and then you turn around and go back, that wall might change. There might not be a way back through that particular area. And that's what I think the two of you could piece together, that this could be one of those areas where if you pass
Okay.
it by, it might change when you try to return to it.
That would be the alteration magic, all right.
So we truly are, we go beyond these points. We're truly just trapped in this maze,
The
potentially.
The beauty of it is you might already be and don't even know it.
Uh-huh.
was up to the north of us, where the X is. That's probably the exact same thing.
Right. And so at that point, Nod is starting to point down towards the south corridor where we know there is something.
Or we'll discover the same thing.
Hmm.
We're gonna have to commit one time.
Who's going to come or he's standing on the other side of a wall that will suddenly move and hi, here I am.
What was that?
In the room, you have 3 barrels sitting at the top of the map. Are they actually in the room?
These barrels that are in this room are just as shattered and tattered as the elves' remains. So there's nothing you can really salvage from in this area with the barrels.
I was
What kind
thinking
elves
of
are they?
a barricade more so with the bones, the barrels. We could fashion some kind of barricade and maybe lure him.
Yeah, the elves. What kind of elves are they? Is the question. I would say that you originally, when you first saw them, might have suspected that they were either the Seychelles elves that you've been seeing or a drow elf, and this looks like neither. This looks like neither of those. In fact, you're getting a little bit more of a sense that these were some type of sea elf, though, but not exactly like the
No.
Seychelles. A little different than the Seychelles elves. But yeah, that's a good question. Where are we at here? Going south and looking through.
Give us a peer with that jam.
All right. Yeah, in this direction, you don't see anything right now through the gem that catches your eye on this section, so you're feeling pretty good about moving forward on maybe into this space.
I'm not comfortable moving forward. I'm starting to feel like we're playing the Tomb of Horrors here. Come on.
There should be no traps. It shows all hidden or illusionary or invisible, so we should theoretically not run into traps.
Yeah.
Unless Jamie rolls a 5 or less, and whatever his imagination
Right.
comes up with.
So just curiosity. Oh, hello.
There's a 1.
Oh,
Wow.
Clear,
Okay.
guys,
This
let's
time
go.
looking through this.
there's a
What did we
dragon.
find?
It's cool, guys. It's just a meal truck. Let's go.
Wow, a 1
Well,
out of 100.
It's if you're using the crystal and you're looking through it and trying to figure out again, is there something that catches your attention?
Giant exit sign.
Yeah, I think instead of that, you actually get almost like immediately a vision in your mind's eye that supersedes whatever you're looking at as you're staring through this gem. And in your mind's eye, once again, you see this like faint image of a Mithra in your mind's eye, and she looks like she's sitting down at a table. And when you walk up to the table and you try to sit down or see what's going on at the table, across, like laying on the table, are like all of these cards, like almost look like some kind of playing cards or something, laying on the table. And when you look at a Mithra again, in this case, it looks like a Mithra is there, but then when you turn around to see like who else is sitting at the table on the far side of the table, Veridus, like he's dealing the cards to a Mithra, and you get a real sense that her soul is in danger, more so than her corpse and preserving her body. You feel like her soul potentially could be lost if you're not able to help her soon, and that she might be, if you brought her back, she might not be who you remember. So you're feeling like a little bit of that as you're staring through this. Yeah. So that's the hallucination that you get. It's also a little bit of maybe a paranoia, a play on a paranoia that you would be having, but that's all you're getting out of the gem at this point.
You tell us this?
And this is all true then.
You would probably see Nod stop, turn around, look around, find a Mithra's body, and just stare at it for a few moments and take her in and is like, yes, we should get her back quickly. Feel she's in danger.
What do you see?
I think the spells of preservation are not enough.
I think Veridus is trying to take her soul. We should save her quickly.
Vaden will weigh in on this as he catches maybe the last moments of this conversation. He's wondering a little bit further behind and turns the corner as you mention that. And he says, it is true. This lich will consume her soul given time. It's best we continue pushing forward and do what we can for her, but the clock is ticking. Her body is safe.
What of her spirit? Is she resting now, or is she fighting this thing?
It's
You move.
Lady
Fighting it, so
Mora
let's move.
only knows.
Her battle, her battle is one we cannot fight right now. I cannot help her fight it. I don't have that ability to see what will become of her. Others of you have. And he looks at Bart.
Still have that crown too.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that.
You've got a lot of fun stuff to play with, that's for sure.
Show that to Baden.
Careful how you touch it.
Take
Yeah,
the
hold it
crown?
with the bag.
Oh, we did take a crown, didn't we?
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
in a small bag in my backpack.
It was very tempting for Mithra, which made it almost fitting that she was the one that Veritas took down. It was very interesting that ended up happening that way. She was like completely enamored with the crown, as you would expect he would have been. So it's an interesting connection there. But yeah, that you do have that crown and it's hidden away. I think you were worried about it and the way that it
Yeah,
seemed to tempt folks.
yeah, kept it hidden in a bag.
So
What's
what's
the advantage of being the list keeper, Tim? Your PC just ends up with all that cool stuff we haven't distributed or may not even know what is yet.
he just remembers it's there, which is good.
Yep.
So what would you like to do now, Nod, or anyone else who's in front here?
He will take a look around, see if he sees any traps, anything noticeable before he walks in here, and encourage everybody to draw their weapons and be ready.
Okay, let me move you down to where you can get to. You're able to get into this little corridor. It turns and looks like it heads west. And as you look in that direction, you can see there are some alcoves along this northern wall throughout the entirety of this hallway. And the hallway itself doesn't seem, and even looking through the lens, you don't see anything that catches your eye here if you take a moment to do that, or at least that pops out in that regard. However, Nod, you do still have that faint odor of Minotaur in your nose that you still smell, but for now you don't see them.
Are these
Right.
open? There's no gateways here. These are like open
Yeah, these are
alcoves.
like little open alcoves. Each of them has a crate or a chest or some barrels sitting in it, like it was like storage or things are being stored here. You can investigate each section a little closer if you'd like to head that way or not.
Doesn't smell like the latrine area, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. Nada will take the initiative to walk forward, especially with the gym not telling him anything,
Yeah.
and look at this first one.
Okay. Yeah, this first.
Just for giggles again for the gym.
Sure. This looks like a barrel that is filled with arrows. They look like they're fairly decent quality. So if anyone has flight arrows,
Black.
then you could replenish your supplies from this crate, this barrel, excuse me.
Okay. I'll take a few.
Okay.
I have them.
Yeah, in this next section, there is another barrel here. And this barrel seems like it might be filled with oil, lamp oil.
Could restock whatever we burned. So there's that.
Yeah.
Nothing's moving down the hallway.
No.
Someone's watching out.
Nope, you can keep your eyes peeled. So far, you've not seen any movement or heard anything.
Did Rod tell us that he could smell something there, or did he keep this to himself?
No, he did. He revealed that there was something down further and to be ready with your weapon. You would see him
Yeah,
with his
okay.
weapon.
So there's probably, yeah. Hanks up front, please. That's not me.
Say, I guess, can I get some of this oil? I know I drank at least a potion. If I would have kept the glass and not just thrown it, you know, I
Sure.
should be able to.
Yeah, you can definitely get a flask of oil from this barrel. It looks like it's set up to refill, like a lantern or something, so it's easy to get some oil from it.
Maybe it even has a spout.
Easy access.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, so you can
Yeah.
fill
We'll
up your.
come back.
Yeah.
We'll come back here to cook later. Can we tell what kind of oil? Just curious. Is it like just lantern oil? Is it like olive oil?
Yeah, it seems like it's lamp oil.
I don't know, Matt. With this thing you're smelling, we may be cooking here in just a second.
Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Or roll for initiative is what I'm, worried about.
And again, we'll move down to the next one. Powder fill with oil.
Yep.
Rise! I'm sticking with you.
This looks.
I'm scared of sticking.
This looks like another barrel. But this one is full of coal.
Coal. Okay.
Really?
Coal?
Mm-hmm.
We should grab some. It's good for fires.
Good for ritual magic?
Lump of
I'll
coal.
put some coal in my belt of many pouches.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Just a few pieces.
Right.
Bring on your
Not
beast.
grab a couple pieces as well. Maybe to refresh his disguise kit of using the black makeup, whatnot. And the next one.
Let's see. So over here, there is a crate, a wooden crate sitting here.
If it's not apparent what's in it, I will take a look through the gym.
I was gonna say, watch out for mimics. We've
Okay.
had one of these before.
This
Will be once.
Yeah, it does not reveal anything per se when you look through the lens.
Even gandering down here if I can see the other ones just to make sure.
Yeah, the same thing there. You don't pick up on anything through the lens on the two there either. Yeah. Do you want to try to check inside of it?
Yes.
Check for traps.
Sure. Might as well. I think the gym would show it, but just to be
I don't know
safe.
if it does mechanical.
It says hidden. So I'm assuming if there was something hidden, it would show it, but I'm not entirely sure. But
Yeah, that's a good distinction,
It's just
right?
what
It's a
the
little
owner-
different. Yeah.
That's just what the owner's manual says.
So here, you actually find inside of it heavy blocks of iron. They're iron ingots inside of this. Each of the bricks weighs about 10 pounds.
You're a
blacksmith, yes, Nod would be
Blacksmith,
definitely
yeah.
interested in this. How much would these bricks get me? Would one brick get me a long sword, or two bricks get me plate mail? Not a full set, but
Let's see, an ingot
maybe the weights.
they're only worth probably about 2 gold a piece.
I'm more interested in I am a blacksmith and he could actually
I thought
do
you meant.
something.
I see.
You combine the iron with the coal, you make steel, right?
If you're trying to like fashion what exactly?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How much iron would I need to say fashion a longsword or armor per se?
Gotcha.
Compare the weights. That might be a way to figure
Yeah.
The weight
kind
of
of
the
a cost
iron.
comparison.
I'm not sure we even have the means to carry this stuff out of here.
And we're pretty
Yeah.
loaded with gold. Our porters are
Right.
carrying.
Sure, yeah, we can't.
It says it'd
No
be
way
about
to carry this out.
it'd be about 2 ingots to craft a blade for a longsword. Just 20 pounds of iron.
He would grab 4.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, you got yourself 4 iron ingots.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyone else
Also,
want any of this?
They also make handy projectile weapons. It's hard time.
Okay.
All right, who's gonna go peek up next?
Oh, I see. And they are 10 apiece, so I do that. There we go. They're not 40 apiece. I will still find I could carry them if they were 40 apiece, but they're not 40. But yeah. Unless
Even
anyone
as
wants
it
to do
stands,
anything
that's
else.
40 pounds worth of iron.
You must be able to carry an ungodly amount of weight with you.
Yeah.
Max weight allowance 535.
Yeah, he's
That's
Yeah.
just what I can just
He's-
carry without being encumbered.
he's like a bag of
Yep.
holding, but he needs something to
Well,
hold it in.
That's his perk. He is strong. That's about it. Actually, he's handsome compared to everybody else except Saharn.
Wow.
That's about it.
I do have a nice bluish gray
You could
color.
probably carry me and
area.
Saharn
I'm pretty.
and still not
yeah.
be encumbered.
Just need a wagon and I'll be your horse.
So this last section actually has 2 small crates in it, and you can go through your checks again on this, but let's see. What you find here in one of the crates is a bunch of scrap leather, all kinds of different size leather that seems like it could be used for fastening armor or handles or things like that, and it's pretty fine leather actually. It looks pretty nice, although certainly cracked and aged, but the leather itself seems like it was high quality or is high quality and could probably be still used. The other small crate here has, what is in this? This one has some horns and bones in it, and almost what you would think would be used for handles, creating handles for swords or weaponry. A lot of these seem like they're already pre-carved handles and things like that, made out of horns and bone.
I think you're onto it. Hilt material. There's the metal.
Yes,
Coal.
somebody's making somebody's inventory for making stuff.
So I'll just grab a couple of leather pieces. And as
I'll
well,
grab a
I
couple
guess
pieces of leather as well for my belt.
2 horn
Perhaps
handles.
we'll run into the blacksmith around this next corner.
He's very close by. Never fear.
You're looking at him.
All right, who's
I'm looking at
leading
Nod,
us?
pushing him forward.
Yeah,
Everyone's
once
just
everybody's
like,
collected,
okay,
we'll
so
move down here, take a gander.
yeah, again, this hallway looks clear to you right now through the lens.
I'll take a few steps forward feeling confident and remember that traps might still not be visible, so I'll take a gander with that.
Yeah. Okay, so when you get up to this section here, you can see into this alcove ahead of you that it looks like there's a small altar, a little stone table that has on it what looks like something blood-stained on it. So you can smell it a little bit from where you're at, that it smells like rotten flesh, but it doesn't smell like Minotaur. And so you pick up on this scent, and when you take a closer look at the altar itself, it almost looks like there may have been something that was cut here, but it's not here anymore, and there's sort of blood splatter all over the altar itself, but nothing really, like just maybe some debris sitting on top of it, but nothing that you can discern from it.
I will step up, look at it, and ignore it completely because Nod has no interest in that.
Yeah, let me see about the party's proficiencies real quick.
Clerics might, but I don't know. If he's sacrificing something here, is this actually important to us? Maybe it's telling us, maybe it's just signaling what's ahead around the corner.
Maybe healing if you had a knowledge of anatomy.
So Harn's wondering if it's sacrificial.
Yeah, I think that It doesn't look like anybody really has a specific thing that would tell you more about it per se. Your suspicions, your collective suspicions are, and I think Baden and Renwick would be agreeing with the notion that there's something that was being sacrificed here at this altar for whatever reason, whatever purpose. But the idea of a Minotaur blacksmith or something of that is starting to build in people's minds when they think about this area. Beyond that, there's no marking as far as like a god or a religion anyway that you can really pick out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the Minotaur god of blacksmith? Nod.
Gond. Gond is the god of that. If it is a Gond altar, Nod would recognize that as
Yeah, no, it is not.
All right.
I'll drip a little bit of holy water from the vial I have onto it.
Definitely not Sylvanas, I'm sure.
Just to see if there's a reaction.
What was it you poured on?
A couple, maybe an ounce of holy water.
It might defile it from their point of view, if it's evil. Might have just ruined
Not a
it.
bad thing.
anger to God.
Yeah.
God Ball. Hey, this is Ball's altar.
Hmm.
God of murder.
I remember doing
I'll
something
butter this.
similar once so long ago in another campaign and
It
instantly
may not have any
died.
visible reaction, but
I died.
Okay,
I was
so
instantly
as
destroyed.
as you pour the holy water on the altar, Kurza, it actually sizzles when it touches the altar and begins to create some smoke that starts to fill the air, and even just that ounce or so that you pour seems to create a fair amount of smoke, and it's a really rancid smell, and the
I'll definitely
surface
back off from it.
the surface
Yeah.
of the altar, the stone, it darkens when this holy water hits it, and it almost looks like it starts cracking slightly.
I
And
hope we're not calling forth something angry.
I do need everyone in this section to do a save versus breath weapon.
Isn't that special? No.
Round begins.
Yeah. In front of the
Everybody,
altar.
everyone in this hallway, pretty much. If you're, in my ping range, you're needing to save.
Tracker.
Versus breath weapon. No dex.
Yeah, what happens when we fail?
No dex, no dex.
Holy cow!
Straight up roll. Failed.
Fail. Okay.
We're gonna find out
Success.
now. We're gonna find out what happens.
Yeah, so
Oh.
for Bart and Seharn and who else failed here? Nod.
Nod did.
Okay, yeah, the three of you start to get a burning sensation in your lungs, and you each take 9 points of damage from this ingested smoke and this feeling of burning that's going on through your lungs, and it's like a biting pain in your lungs, like specifically in your lungs where you feel this. It starts to get a little bit uncomfortable to breathe. The burning and everything starts to subside a little bit, and you guys can make another save, the three of you only, versus breath weapon.
Second one?
Yeah.
Just curious, would Nod wearing a mask, a cloth over his face, help at all in this scenario?
I don't think it helped your roll of a 3 versus a
Right.
15, but probably I'd give you a +1 on this roll if you want to take that. I think that's fair enough for the fact you do have face covering. Same with Bart.
I did not add the +1s,
Right.
but that would put me at
Okay, so
15.
so 2 of you are able to cough a little bit and get that burning out of your lungs, and you feel much better after
Is there
coughing
a
it out.
reaction? Do we get a moment to react to the first save?
Yeah.
And would
Yeah, absolutely.
turning to run away, would that provide any benefit to this next saving throw I'm about to make?
Probably not. You feel like the
Okay.
you're fighting what's in your body now.
Okay.
Not what's
Well, I
out.
think
Yeah.
I've got like 15 hit points left.
It's a good question then.
Oh no.
Okay, so
We do have astonishing fortunes.
you'll take some damage, some more damage.
Oh, I don't think I have enough healing power left to
You
overcome
only,
the damage
it's
I
only,
just took.
it's 1 hit point of
Oh,
damage.
you're a generous DM.
Well, the dice were kind to you on that roll. What you start to feel, Sahar, is almost like it's getting a little bit more intense for you to breathe a little bit. And you feel like this damage that was done to you is something, and you would know this just from your experience, that it seems like it's something necrotic that damaged you.
Necrotic. What do you mean by that?
Like an
Yeah.
undead type energy about it.
Oh my. Here, would you like to drink the holy water, Saharn?
This might not be a bad idea right now. I could
Finish the
possibly
vial.
be infected by not even a demonic thing, but just evil energy that will slowly eat me away or something. I don't
Gargle some holy water.
know. I think
We
I
could
will.
do better.
I think I will take a gulp of a nice couple of chugs of Kurz's holy water, just as a preventive, as I say a small prayer to myself.
Do you know where you
Not
got the holy water, Kurza?
To say holy water of who?
Was this, I'm guessing, might have been from Procamper when you were in the Temple District?
Believe-
So it was probably, who is your deity? Who is Kurza's deity?
I don't know that I had a deity in that area.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it was, it's fine. It's a good aligned god. I was just curious of. So,
It would be Coralon Larathian.
okay, yeah, I was just curious, like, what effect it might add to this, but you definitely feel a soothing effect, Saharn, from drinking the holy water. You feel like a soothing
That's nice.
effect, and that you've probably slowed whatever effect this might have on you and protected yourself by drinking it. Yeah, you definitely feel a little better having drank.
Whatever effect this might be having on me. Words you don't want to hear from your DM, guys.
It's a true story. Yeah, so you guys have
I-
cleared that out, or at least you've inspected the altar. Does anyone else have any other questions about the altar or anything in that section?
Probably time
Well,
for a few
Take
more
the
clear
rest of
lights.
the holy water for yourself then, Saharn.
Indeed, yeah. Now you
Drink
would
it in.
see Nod
Uh,
try to corral everybody and get everybody quiet again because that was eventful.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do I got here? A half a vial of holy water or something? Or
Probably.
All
that
right.
sound fair?
Yeah.
Drink the rest of it if you
that
like.
sounds fair.
Or
I
save
think
it for a little bit later, or
I'll see how we feel down the road.
yeah.
If there's any further descriptions from our blessed the last that I feel like I flowed. Yeah. Hopefully that's just atmosphere. Jamie, it's just atmosphere.
It's just atmosphere, right? Exactly.
Just that.
Exactly.
Totally meaningless. I'm not dying.
What's the party thinking now that you've cleared this section? Nod and Griff, I think, are in a position where they can look through this northern opening, and it appears as if the clean carved corridors now go back into a rough-hewn cavern. And from what you can see in the end, it looks like there's some more crates and barrels leaning against this wall. A couple just debris and stuff strewn about from what you can see. Look through the lens does not seem to indicate that there's anything there hidden or out of this plane. And as far as listening, let's see, and smelling, let me process those.
Let me guess. A garbage
So,
dump.
Nod, you get a strong odor of Minotaur from this doorway, but you don't hear or see, detect otherwise where it is, but you definitely smell it. like the strongest you've smelled it in the today.
This home.
Thoughts? Any thoughts here on moving forward, going backward? Standing
Nod would
still?
encourage to do anything that you need to do. Heal, ready yourself, wipe yourself off, whatever you need to do before we move forward.
Oh,
This Cure Light's choked out a few more hit points than he cared to.
Okay.
hey, that's not right. 13 out of
Two
16.
left.
13 out of 16, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
I have 2 left if I need to throw a couple more out for anybody.
Nod could use one if you want to use one on him.
Took damage?
From the poison, from the altar, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, thank you, Bart. I feel much better. I'll
So
buy you
Harm-
a round.
So Harn will use one on him. Self. Fair enough, because I only had 15 hit points or 14. Where are you at, Nod?
Okay, so Bart, I'm assuming killed himself with the
Mm-hmm.
2 he rolled. Okay,
The
so
2,
I am
yeah. The 5 I rolled was for you, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am at, with that 5, I'm 25 out of 33. Still 8 out.
Bliss spell on him. Then I'll have 1 left. That's it. 4 I've used already. Oh, blessed egg.
Hey!
Blessed
Good.
egg. Go Nod.
Yes, I was gonna say, can healing help with any of that kind of damage?
It's a necrotic damage?
Not really. It's more of a treat disease or something type of problem for him. Yeah. Okay, so sounds like everyone's healed up a little bit. You've taken some
Right.
stock of things. How are you feeling?
If everybody's untouched, then Nod would start to move forward. Readying himself again with his longsword out and prepared.
Yeah. Okay, let me see your... Yeah, you make your... Go ahead.
I was going to say maybe even going to the shadows and attempting to be silent, but I'm not expecting much here.
Yeah, no, it's still worthwhile to try to stay out of the way a little bit. And for the most part, you're able to do that. There's quite a bit of debris, so it's hard maybe to avoid knocking things or stepping on things, but staying hidden in the shadows has not been a problem for you. So yeah, you can make your way in a little bit, Nod, and at this point, do you have the gem out? Are you using the gem?
Yes, I'll take a couple steps forward, and once I'm in this room and can see further, and I will pull the gem out.
Okay.
I couldn't see around the corner, so.
Yeah, so you'll have to spend like the round kind of looking through the gem just to scan this whole area once over to give it to understand what's going on. You definitely see something that catches your eye on this angled wall right here down below you where
Here I got.
yeah, it looks like magic. There's something there that's magical, that's hidden by magic. You're not quite close enough to see exactly what it is that it's doing, but it stands out to you as being some type of magic that's hiding something. The wall itself doesn't look real to you.
Gotcha. And the flashes of Uncle Hulk is going through his head, and again, he'll put his hand out before Griff gets too much further as well. Warn him and point in that direction. Again, still not sure what it is. Maybe in this point, encouraging Kurza to come over and take a peek.
All right. Let's see what Kurza is. Where are you guys? I got the wrong layer. Okay. So, yeah, looking through it again, Kurza, you think that this is illusionary magic on this wall here. And it seems like this wall would be something that could be passed through.
I'll let him know.
I'll giggle as I see you make the little foot walking past the wall motions, and
Okay.
if
Yeah,
there's nothing else that we see, no
No,
movement,
no.
freedom.
Otherwise,
Okay.
in the space itself, it looks again. There are some tattered bones and debris laying around, consistent with some of the other things you'd seen earlier. This pile of supplies up here looks like it's fairly well intact, so you could take a closer look at these supplies. But throughout the rest of the room, you were expecting to see someone or something, and you don't see anyone or anything moving around. You do see, though, in this
Behind the
section
wall.
here, that it looks like there was a forge that was set up in this area, and it doesn't look like it's been used in a while, but it's still there, and it adds up in your mind that this is some kind of Minotaur blacksmith operation, and you don't know exactly what they were making yet, but
I wouldn't have been bored. I would have stayed here then.
that's true.
They don't tell you everything they were doing?
No, he was on the lower level of the rankings, so he didn't have all the information yet.
We didn't quite see eye to eye. They like flesh. I prefer vegetables.
And yeah, again, you are getting that whiff again, though, still coming from that direction. And
Fully behind the wall.
yeah, it seems like it's through that area that you're smelling it and nod. And then for the others who are in the room who now are looking at this area as well, you almost feel like you hear something coming through there too, faintly. Some kind of movement, not distinctly loud or anything, but just now that you've been like watching it and thinking of it, it seems like there might be some movement on the other side of that section.
I will take the opportunity to take my flask of oil and throw it out here. I'm attempting to make the ground slippery, per se grease.
Okay, where do you want to put that?
I'm aiming in front of the suspicious looking wall.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you can just roll a regular attack roll just to see that you don't completely botch it, but otherwise you can spray it on that space. There you go. So yeah, you're able to get it to land in that space and get the ground wet by it. So
Yeah, we go back to the barrel and refill.
it's true. You can. In fact, you don't have to go that far because Renwick starts poking around looking at these other barrels, and he finds another barrel in here that's filled with oil as well, similar to the one that was in the hallway. Some of these other supply chests, he's rifling through them and checking them as well. And you find some of the similar items. You also find some chain, quite a bit of chain in here, actually, in some of these barrels, like 2 full barrels of chain that just looks like very thick, sturdy chain. And then what else did you find here? Some rivets and nails. You found some files and tools. There's a grinding wheel in this space as well over here. Looks like it would have been used for probably sharpening something pretty large. And then some scrap metal also strewn about in the area. Yeah, that's the most notable things that you're seeing in here. Any questions?
So we take our mid-session.
That's what I was just going to suggest. If there were no questions, let's go ahead and take a little, maybe 5 to 7 minute break. Give everybody a chance to stretch and do a bio break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you, Seth.
Okay.
Hope we don't die.
got Brandon back. I don't know about Adam or Chris. Can't see those guys.
Lurk in here.
Cool. We gotta hurry up and get Griff into a battle so he can level up. If I'm not mistaken, there's actually some good benefits going on for you at 5th level as a ranger. What do you get at 5th level? Oh, okay.
Get extra. Go ahead.
Weapon and non-weapon proficiencies, right? I think both.
I think I get it 6th.
I think
It's
you
every
get like
3.
animal companion or something, don't you?
4th. Let's see. Weapon proficiencies for. So every 3. Okay, yeah. You would get another weapon proficiency next level and non-weapon proficiency.
And I don't think, from what I remember, anything special at 5th. Hit points.
I guess, yeah, it'll be next level that you'll really be able to add 2 proficiencies. And then I'm wondering at what level, yeah, what level do you get like animal companions and stuff?
8, I think.
Yeah, I think 8 I can start casting. And
Yep.
it's a long way down the road. Just want to survive the maze right now.
We might be out of the maze part and into a cavernous part, or this could be a dead end.
All right, well,
Or we're back at the beginning. You never know.
We may find out, or we may join these bones on the ground here.
yeah. So I think we're all back. I'm pretty sure I heard everybody. I don't see everyone, so I don't know, but I think everyone's there. We'll pick back up here in the Minotaur Forge. You guys are aware of the fact that there's something hiding this area through an illusionary wall. And yeah, I think you've just decided that you're still deciding maybe what the next step is.
I'm thinking maybe I'll pick up a rock. Hey, yeah,
That's where I was just going.
yeah, I was gonna say, do you guys want me to try to throw a rock through that wall?
I
See
do.
what happens? Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Might
All
as
right.
well.
All right.
Aye.
Gonna throw a rock.
Either that or something explosive.
Something more bigger. Do you want this iron bar?
Throw a torch on that oil he dumped over there.
I'll throw Renrick through the wall.
Top the dwarf.
All right.
There you go. So he just threw this rock kind of pretty almost perfectly through this area, and sure enough, the rock goes right through the wall, and as you don't hear the rock hit anything. You're expecting like it was gonna hit something and you would hear the rock make contact or something, but you don't. It doesn't make any noise that you hear. You do still hear like a noise of movement, almost sounding like it's coming from that direction, though. So you're not.
Speaking of rock, Wayne's wearing rock slide.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
That's an awesome touch.
Yes, I am. I'm wearing rock slide.
Shout out to Rock Slide.
I get tons of compliments. People notice this T-shirt. They really do.
I love it
Oh.
on the black like that. It looks awesome.
Yeah. So,
It's actually
so
green.
I-
It just
Oh, it's
looks
green.
black
Oh,
'cause
it
it's
looks
sitting
black
in the
from
dark.
here. It looks
green,
black. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I see.
dark green. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm just
that's
sitting
cool.
in darkness.
So I guess I turned back to the party and I said, "Hey, it appears like there's no wall there. What do we want to do? Should
Maybe
we proceed that way?" Nod, you said you smell something coming from that direction. We all hear movement. Want to call out in Minotaur, or
that's what I was thinking. I will take this opportunity to call out in Minotaur and say, "I know you're there. Come out."
If that doesn't work, we're tossing the dwarf.
I know you're there. Come out in your native
Minotaur,
Minotaur language.
Gutter rolls and
Yeah.
Gnome tossing.
maybe a kind of howl or moo or
Yeah. Okay. So I think after a moment of you saying that, you hear a real deep laugh bellowing throughout the corridors, including from the direction you came, and this voice calls out, and you can hear it very well, and you hear distinctly movement coming from this direction
Behind us?
behind you.
Behind us.
I think I'll move this way.
Right now, it sounds like it's a little further away than where I'm clicking, but it's coming from that direction. And yeah, so what would you like to do?
But yeah, Nod will continue to take this opportunity to hide in the shadows and try to stay visible, essentially.
Okay. Got it. What's everyone else doing?
I'm gonna stay where I am
Okay.
and wait
Convince
for
them
my
to.
more melee, rough and ready friends to take position somewhere. I'm gonna be back up.
We're just gonna move more into the center of the room and cast magical vestments on himself. We can have something akin to an armor class.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anybody else taking any action here in the leading moments before I give you some more context?
I have a mirror image spell ready, but I'm not going to cast it yet.
moved to where I am right there and tried to hide.
All right.
Are we generally having a mood of foreboding here? Is that where we're at, guys? I could start chanting.
If you've got something to start, you feel like the movement is getting a little closer, and that you might have a good turn or a good round to do anything that you want to do before you're gonna this thing might be upon you, but it's something is moving this direction. You can hear footsteps very clearly. Those of you who are in this northern part of the cavern hear them without any problem. Stepping in that direction sounds like something is moving towards you without worrying about making sound.
Well,
I'll
right
cast
here.
a mirror image spell.
Yeah, we did call it out.
Okay.
Sure,
Yeah.
it's not worried.
Let me
I'll
Yeah.
cast my mirror image spell.
let me get you guys on the turn order, but we won't go into turns just yet because you don't have any targets or anything yet. Something's coming, so we'll still deal with these next couple of things out of rounds, if you will, until you're
Mm-hmm.
in sight of an enemy. But the sound gets to this area here, and you heard like some mumblings of this deep laugh, and as it reaches this corner where the altar was, the laugh stops for a second.
Mhm.
He says,
Does it turn into a cough?
it's more like maybe clearing of a throat.
By bluffing.
I see you have
Okay.
stained my artifact.
Oh boy.
And
The holy water, isn't it?
with that, you
Renwick,
hear
throw oil here.
this approaching. Renwick is doing something. He does have something up his sleeve here, and actually, Renwick goes completely invisible. When he sees Kurza cast his spell, he feels like it might be time for him to do something drastic as well, and so he goes completely invisible on you. And in this doorway, you see a shadow of a large figure emerge, and I'll put you guys. Let's see. Is it this one?
Large, still basically humanoid size.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Let me find the right. Which one it is? It's this one.
Ugly and it has horns, right?
Indeed. Here it is.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey, you're good looking and have horns.
yeah.
That's
So.
true. Fair enough. Okay. Good-ish looking.
Oh crap!
Hopefully it's just one.
This
You're very handsome for a cow.
this is the sight that you see as you, if, for any of you who are locked on the doorway, a huge, large hulk of a looking minotaur with a hammer, who appears to probably be your blacksmith, is standing in the doorway, and over his shoulder appears to be a much smaller but better armored minotaur who none of you recognize except for Nod, of course. And Nod, you would know these minotaurs to be. Let's see which one's which.
Wayne the Rock Minotaur.
Uh, Cornus is the blacksmith, and Toonber is the guardian. Those were the two you would have known.
Unbor and
Cornus, yeah. See, let me see what their perspective is like here, because right now they don't maybe necessarily know
where Nod is,
where
but
Nod
they
is.
heard the Minotaur. I did speak in Minotaur.
Yeah, okay. I think they would be on the map now. I'm gonna move them in here and move us back to the map for the next foreseeable. Alright, so I'm gonna put a glow on these guys so you can see them there, because I don't have tokens. I don't think they're necessary for this part. Is it Toonber? Yeah. Where is his? Alright. I'm making him a little larger, but he's not really that large. He doesn't take 4 spaces. Maybe we can make him take 2 spaces. There we go. Alright, as he steps into that doorway, and we'll go ahead and do initiative now that you've got these guys in your sights. He, of course, would be like sniffing the air, and he would turn and look in your direction, Nod, and you're very well hidden in the shadow right now. He's probably not looking you in the eye, but like he's looking at you, like in your direction 100%, that he smells you there. And he says, "The coward returns. What a gift from the gods this is. You will look pretty on my altar, Nod." And with that, he raises his hammer. So everyone go ahead and roll. You can do, I think you already did a initiative roll. So it looks like everyone's just doing individual initiative. I'm fine with that, whatever you want to do. But make sure you factor in your proper casting and speed if you're attacking or casting.
Yep.
And let's see, who am I missing?
Me right now.
Bart's on.
I'm gonna cast.
Okay.
Renwick Baden.
Yep.
I did well.
I'm not sure if
Oh,
the
shoot.
hirelings are doing anything.
That was not what I wanted to do. I'm not going to play them. If you guys want to control them and want them to act, you may. Just let me know, and I'll add them into the turn order if their instructions are to fight. I assume, unless you don't say that they're hiding out in the back, watching it all go down and trying to protect themselves more than participate.
And a Mithra. I'd rather them protect Mithra and keep her out the way than participate.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're important because they're currently carrying our treasure. We need
Yeah,
them to live.
the only thing is because I threw that flask of oil out here and I don't have a torch.
Worry about that
I got a
later.
fireball.
All right, I got.
Indeed.
Oh.
It looked like we were far enough away, too.
All right, this guy goes on a different. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get our bad boys in the turn order here as well, and we'll give them different initiatives since just to make it all the more random and interesting. All right. So we've got.
Chaos is good.
They did not roll particularly well. All right, this guy is okay. And I gotta do Baden.
Don't forget Invisible Red Wind.
Yeah. I have.
I know he's gone.
He's the one I had to go grab off the different map.
Hope he's up to something
What was it?
nasty.
There we go. Got it. All right. I think I've got it now. Everyone in, except for some reason Baden's is not. Okay. And Saharn would be the first to act along with Bart and Kurza pretty much simultaneously. So go ahead, Saharn. What are you up to?
Oh, I can barely see these coming. I said I was going to cast. So movement, I think, just sidestep so I can see the hallway. I'm going to try to cast a hold person on both of them.
Okay.
Stop them in their tracks. Hopefully we get really lucky here. They have a -1 penalty, by the way, because it's focused on 2 people.
Okay.
Save versus spell, and otherwise they'll be held for 10 rounds, so we can do whatever we want with it. Maybe. Maybe I'm daydreaming and it won't affect them at all.
Minotaur should be affected by hold person.
Yeah, we've done this before. I remember I had my first success
Yeah.
last round.
Yeah.
In this whole campaign, none of my charms, nothing has worked. I haven't affected a single crowd.
So roll a 1d4, please.
No. I roll a 1d4?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're reading the spell wrong, but okay. What I get hidden for me.
Okay. There we go.
Are you casting?
Hold person,
Oh,
which affects up to 4 people. But the way I read it, it's like by choice. In a crowd, I could pick even just 1 person.
But don't they have?
Okay.
Or
yeah.
it's a 20-foot area, maybe, if you want to read it that way too.
Yeah.
They have to be within that distance of each other.
Okay. Yeah. You cast the spell at them, and I guess maybe you don't know yet what the outcome is, but you feel like something happened, and so you don't know quite yet what the
I like
what the
not
outcome is.
knowing. I like that. That's good. All right.
Bart is up though.
Casting his spiritual
Right.
hammer.
Oh, okay.
I guess he'll. Is that just around to cast the hammer and bring it into being, or is it? I guess it doesn't explicitly say if you can attack the first round with it. I assume it's just the spell. But...
Let's see. Spiritual hammer is what, 2nd or 3rd level?
2, second.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Spiritual hammer. What do you got? Yeah, I would imagine actually that you can attack this round.
Sure.
Yeah, again, you had some time to get this going, so I'm fine with you attacking with it this round. So I think you can control it and put it out on the.
It's still yeah, it's an attack roll. But...
All right.
yeah, but you can move it and stuff.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, I've got it.
I don't know
I'm
where.
gonna direct it towards the first Minotaur here.
I'm gonna put a second Bart token out there, and we'll make this the hammer. So there's not a hammer icon. I guess we'll just use like yellow, maybe, if it lets me. There we go. So that's your spiritual hammer. And it hits at AC 7, does not hit this guy. But still, I guess you just have to concentrate on it, right? So,
Yeah, we'll have to concentrate harder next round.
all right.
Study.
Kurz is up.
Let's see where I can get to line of sight. And then at the back of this here wall, we'll put, or maybe just in front of it, just a tad, we'll put a fireball.
Ugh.
So both of these guys will be engulfed,
Please
but
tell
it
me
won't reach
measured.
Griff.
Okay.
It should
Putting
be
that
5
where?
feet away
I don't have
from-
a ring of fire resistance.
Yeah, but it should be at least 5 feet, about 5 feet or less away from Griff, so
Oh.
not a problem.
Is that a standard nuke tactic with you too, Tim, back in the old days? Everybody wears a ring of fire resistance. Case of worst case
Exactly.
scenario, that
Send
the
that guy
mage can
forward.
always right.
But
Yep.
all of you guys have one. I don't.
I don't. Staharn doesn't have any magic items, actually. A minimalist.
You don't have any magical items on? I thought you did.
No.
An amulet and the Drow armor.
No, I didn't touch that draw.
Did you not
No.
put on
Minimum
the
damage,
Elven
damn.
Chain?
No, Kurz has got the Elven Chainmail.
Just reading up real quick just to see how this is gonna.
How it's going to affect them, if at all.
Or us?
It
Well,
shouldn't affect
It'll
us.
catch my oil on fire.
Okay.
It should, yes.
We've made our own wall of flames.
All right, so where are you? What are you trying to do with this exactly? Again, where are you putting this? And
Just off the wall back here.
okay, gotcha.
You know, maybe a couple feet in front of it, because that'll get it 20 feet and still be feet from Griff.
Okay, they didn't do wonderful on their savings throws. What is the? It's 5d6, 13 damage.
Yeah, weak.
Oh gosh, 3-1.
Oh,
Can we
you can't.
re-roll that? Can we re-roll that? Yeah,
Few
Yeah,
potions,
if you
we got
want.
it.
If you want, that's fair game.
Oh, you have to do better than 3 ones. That's
Nah.
It's low. It's certainly low, but
If you want me to do it, I'll do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I think we need to.
I
Could
think on
just be-
average you would do better.
Okay.
let's see, Yahtzees on deuces.
Well,
look at
43.
that.
I think that's worth it, I guess. 10 points better.
Yeah.
okay, got it.
And we've still got 4 rolls.
Yeah.
So we're good.
All right, so
Surely all four out of 5 of us won't die, right?
Hopefully not.
all right, so yeah, the fireball looks like it impacted both of these somewhat, and it is Nod's turn next.
At least they have a sunburn.
Absolutely.
No,
I'll say this: so the flame, the way you centered the flame, it would have been like, to everybody else, it would have been like this fire that just erupted from behind them and then scorched them on the back. And so you're almost like
Yeah.
seeing them sizzle and smoke rising up from their burning garb and hair and whatnot, but their front of them isn't as in burnt. And the hammer that the Minotaur in the front is holding starts to glow with the heat.
So, remember, Jamie, I threw a flask of oil right here.
Yeah. So
Expect
Oh,
we may have to do something other than fire damage.
so
Yeah, that
for
oil.
This guy and his hammer.
so this guy would be taking a little bit more damage from the oil.
Excellent.
Let's see.
Good catch.
Yeah. So they both take a little
Question
bit
is-
more from this. And yeah, go ahead, Nod.
Would they have reacted from the fireball? Or are they just still?
Yeah, I think interestingly, the one in the back doesn't move very much when the fireball hits them. The one in the front doesn't move a lot either, but he definitely seems like he's not held. If any, you think maybe this one is.
The Nod had what his intention
He's
was.
standing in the middle of the fire too.
Got the hammer.
Right.
This guy in the
Nod
doorway.
had picked up a bag of spores from one of the traps from the tower, and he was going to attempt to throw that at the one in front.
Hit me.
Yeah, you do have a possibility of hitting Griff on a fumble or something, or even if it hits the Minotaur, it's possible that it could affect both of them since they're adjacent.
Might be worth it though.
Just step forward. He already knows I'm here, and then aim it further back.
Do it. I have trepidations. I think this could backfire. Do it. I want you to. We're finally
right.
we're having a battle. This is starting to sound like one of the rare battles where we actually might have the edge at the beginning. You could totally backfire that right here.
Right. Find powder, fire. We'll do die.
Throw this sucker in reverse. Come on.
I guess I should astonishing fortune that.
Oh, was that your to hit roll?
That would have been.
Yeah, that would have hit me.
Right.
Hit not at the back of the head.
That go is 18, so that would have been like armor class 8.
Okay, so you were aiming it back in this way through the doorway. All right, let's see. Do you what? Let me see your something real quick on your party proficiencies. Okay. All right, so basically I'm giving it a chance that I'm giving it a chance to react to the fact that there's fire there as well, right? So I'm going to see real quick what the effect is from it crossing into the flame.
Up a smoke.
Hey, fried mushrooms.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting. So it's almost like when the holy water was dropped on the altar, when the spores hit the fire, they create a smoke, a really acrid smoke and noxious fume. And so this Minotaur here and Griff, you guys are going to have to roll a savings throw against this thing. And we're going to use it as a breath weapon. So the Minotaur... Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, the Minotaur rolled pretty well. Yeah, you could Astonishing Fortune if you want.
Probably worth. I believe it's paralyzation.
Yeah, but my roll, I got to roll a 16.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think it's worth it. The chances aren't good that I'm going to succeed.
Okay. So, yeah, so the spores, when they hit the flame, they definitely change. So, in this case, you're lucky that it doesn't cause paralyzation because it struck the flame. It actually changes the effect a little bit here, but you do get knocked back from this. So, you actually are going to get pushed back one. I guess you'd have to go here. Kind of get knocked like that. And then you're going to take 8 points of damage. And it's just from the burst. There's just like this burst that when the spores hit it and created this smoke, Just was this burst of smoke in your face that knocked you back and caused some damage to you, but otherwise you don't feel any awful effect. And neither does the Minotaur seem to have been affected by it, though.
Didn't take any damage from the burst.
He did take. He looked like he took some damage from the burst, but he didn't look like he was
Right.
paralyzed or affected beyond that. All right, so that's right. It's Baden's turn. Baden is going to step here behind Saharna gang so he has a straighter view. And he goes ahead, and Baden actually disappear for a second. I guess only really Kurza would notice this, that he disappears and suddenly seems to appear behind the Minotaurs.
And the last time he did that, he got turned to stone.
Yeah, I know, it wasn't
not the
pretty.
smartest wizard, not the wisest wizard.
It wasn't the wisest move. But interestingly, as you notice that, because he suddenly appears there, it reveals to you that standing in front of him, you can see almost like a silhouette of Renwick, who's standing back there, and he's no longer invisible, and he's standing in front of Baden. So that's kind of catches your attention, and it's actually Renwick's turn next, and he is going to attempt to backstab the giant one in the doorway. And let's see what he gets.
There's fire here.
Yeah.
Good. The one I'm worried about.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be too bothered by it right now, but he does connect on his backstab attempt. Okay, yeah, so he plummets his short sword upward into the lower back of this blacksmith Minotaur, and you hear him like grunt as he does it, and the Minotaur who's standing in the doorway reacts to that as well and seemingly turns around to face whatever it was that stabbed him. Yeah, and so you see Renwick back there looks a little bit put off by how Baden appeared there. Like he almost had something else he was going to do, and then he had to just quickly do something. So, but anyway, it's now on to the Minotaur himself. And first is, I think I have the same one in here.
Does he have a better dex than me?
Who?
Minotaur, we got the same roll.
What's your dex?
18.
No, he doesn't have a better dex than you. So you can go first for sure.
That's it.
All right, I'm gonna go. Can I step up and attack?
Yeah. Yeah. You're just knocked back. Fire's starting to dissipate as well from the oil.
A hit.
That is a hit. Another short sword.
Large, right?
Nice.
Second attack.
Nice. That's
Nice.
also. Nice. Okay. Good turn. Several slices with the short sword. So far, he's taken 3 hits from from short swords, and a bunch of fire damage. Nice. All right. I think it's now on to the Minotaurs, who go last in the order. They rolled bad, and they're also using some big weapons. So the Minotaur in the doorway is going to go ahead and raise his hammer, and let me have you pick even or odd, Tim.
Even.
All right, so I'm going to have him attack Renwick in this case. And he misses with a terrible roll. But
A lot of
however, you do, like, when he swings that hammer, it's almost like it makes a humming noise as it's moving. Like you would expect when you're swinging like a sword or something really fast, that it would make like a sound in the air. It's cutting the air so fast when he swings it. It's like faster than you would expect. But beyond that, he does not connect with his little target. And then the other one is held. You see him unable to move as he's just leaning in that back corner right now and taking a little bit of fire damage as well. So that's it for them.
finds him.
Just curious, how big is the hammer that he's swinging? Is it like a war hammer, or is it more like a hammer, blacksmith hammer?
It's like a warhammer, yeah.
Okay.
It's large scale warhammer.
Was that image of him? It's got a rather long shafted handle. Is that kind of it?
Yeah, yeah.
I bet it's
It's definitely crude, like but it's still well made for the fact that the material it's made out of is very good, and it's
Oh.
quality enough that you wouldn't want to get struck by them.
the way you're describing it. It's sounding a little bit magical.
Could be.
It is glowing.
We may want that.
It's just
Bad
hot.
things don't happen to us.
I can't assure it, but it's your turn, Seharn. I think the three of you go almost 1, 2, 3 together.
What is he wearing? Armor? It's pretty much none, right? So
Yeah, he's not wearing any real noticeable.
yeah. So a dastardly heat metal spell is not going to benefit. I'm going to save myself. I'm going to wait and maybe at worst step forward and prepare to heal
Okay.
my friend if necessary. So that's it.
All right. How about Bart?
I'm down 12 right now, so
Concentrating on the hammer, trying to
Attack.
hit him around the
Nice. That is a hit.
right.
yeah.
To a little bit. Oh, this is a large, so
The hammer that saved us on the boat on the way here.
There you go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
that was a
I
good
mean,
out.
keeps them
Nice.
occupied. It's a good spell. Keeps them occupied. It's keeping you back away from it, and it's sitting in there dealing damage. So nice. You staying put there? Or are you happy where you're at? Where Bart's at?
I think Bart's gonna stay where he is, yeah, at
Okay.
the moment.
All right, Kurza, what would you like to do?
Sidestep a tad. And the guy in front, give him a bunch of magic missiles.
He's taken a
Pound
lot
him.
of damage, hasn't
12.
How about 12 more? Bam.
he? Feeling
He looks,
peckish.
he looks a little staggered now. He's definitely taken. He's taken a fair amount of hits. He's not taking like a big hit, but he's taken a lot of moderate hits. Yeah.
Damn
Well, it seems like it's not turned to correct that.
it. Go for it.
That guy in the back, he
Finish
could
him.
The guy in the back
Basically
actually
just
hasn't taken
cut him.
much, but he's also sitting
No.
duck right now.
he's
Not
sitting.
a-
It's literally, you could literally slice his throat if you wanted to. Not much he can do.
Ooh, nice.
It'd
Minus.
be like 12.
15 damage. Ooh.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, you did correct that, Nod. He's looking rough now. I would categorize that as a big hit, and he's definitely looking pretty rough from all of the damage that he's taken now. Nice hit.
See if he'll surrender. I'm not the
I can't
murderous type.
imagine he will.
He won't. He's too honorable for that.
Too elite.
Not to the likes of me. Maybe somebody who is more charismatic, but not. He would not.
It needs to
No.
kill this guy.
You might choose life over death. Never know. If there's a chance.
Surrender or die. Maybe I'll say that in Minotaur.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Why not?
All right. So now we're back. We're over to Baden and Renwick next. Baden is back there, and he is going to cast a spell here. Believe it or not.
Release from hold.
Yeah, no, he actually hits the one that's held with a whole bunch of magic missiles. So this one now in the back catches like 8 missiles on him, and that does... How much damage is this?
Oh, 4.
Okay, 22. All right. So yeah, he's
Oh.
focused on that last one. The Renwick is gonna go ahead and try again to keep this one, the big one, as his target. He no longer has the benefit of a backstab, but he's still going. Oh, okay. He nat 1'd.
Oops. Can he use Astonishing Fortune?
Yes.
Hey, if you guys want to give Party Astonishing Fortune to an NPC, you may, and I'll let you roll it if you want, but it's up to you all if you want to do that.
Let Renwick not crit fail, right?
I think we should. He's been good doing it.
Yeah. I already put it.
You took it? Okay.
Down to
All right.
2, so-
Someone want to roll?
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a d20 then, so that you guys can see the roll
will.
and be responsible for the
For it.
outcome.
All right.
Leon's got it.
He has a plus, so I'll calculate
Oh,
his plus
20.
if he's gonna hit or not. But okay. All right. So he doesn't hit with that, but he doesn't crit miss with that. So good, probably a good use. Could have been bad. He might have hit an ally or something, which wouldn't have been good either.
Killed Baden.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Man, I knew this spell was bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Every
Dropped it.
time.
What's that?
All right.
Never mind. Never
Okay.
mind.
Go ahead, Griff. You're the faster big man here. Another hit. You guys are chewing these guys up here. You got them
Well, no,
caught
skull-
in the bottleneck here. 11 damage. Yeah, he's
all
looking
that's
rough. Very rough. Very close to being in trouble here. That hits also.
all that fear I built up in myself getting into the story from your description.
Minimum damage, but such is life.
Jeez.
All right.
Still, you got 16
all right.
damage
You
and
still
2
hit
hits.
him. You still hit him on both hits. So good. All right. It's back to the Minotaur. Let's see. What does he want to do?
Surrender or die. Maybe even you'll see Nod yelling that and spittle coming out of his mouth as he's roaring it.
Let's see how he takes this. Huh. You have already surrendered by coming back here, and I will be the one to claim the reward for your life. And he looks at you in the eyes and targets you with this next attack. Nod. And swings his big
Any way I can
old
stay in
hammer.
between?
Oh, you were right, Brandon. You were right. He's not buying it.
Where are you?
So maybe
Where is Griff? Is he
Griff is
under?
Here, and Nod's behind me. Diagonal.
he's behind the spiritual hammer, I want to say.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
he's the
Okay.
same as the spiritual
right
hammer.
there.
If you hadn't gone, I would say you could definitely use your turn to, or forego your turn to jump in and intercept. But if you've already gone, I guess you didn't move. So if you wanted to say that you moved into that space, that's fine. But keep in mind, a spiritual hammer isn't really probably stopping him from swinging at him if he wants to. So
I didn't even see the thing. I was on top of it.
yeah, that's all I was seeing. Okay, I didn't know where you were. All right. Okay, so as luck would have it, it doesn't really necessarily matter here. He's lifted his hammer, and he brings the hammer down straight into the ground, and hits the stone on the floor between you all, just beside you. and as it hits the floor, it sets off a really loud burst, and you feel the ground shake beneath you and throw you upward. So those of you who are in these spaces here in front are going to be pushed back one from the impact. Even the hammer, I think, would be affected there. He's thrown back. And then you guys take 13 damage from the concussion and the blast of this. And again, you see this hammer is still glowing as he's now smashed it into the ground, and he's screaming, certainly more towards Nod than anyone. Nod's got him somewhat enraged. The other Minotaur standing by idly, watching as some of this goes on. And let's see, who's up next? Saharn is up next.
Holy smack!
Yeah,
I'm
the
about
14.
to. Yeah, I'm about to put a heal on you right now.
Oh, and he stepped forward.
Sure, he did.
He pulled his.
But my friends are still holding the front line valiantly.
Indeed.
I'm sure I can reach over. And how bad was that? I can't read. A 2?
Yeah, it's 2.
We got.
left.
Yeah, we have how many left?
2.
And roughly 15 minutes, or however this battle takes. I'm saving your luck. No.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice.
Sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
All right. So, who did you give that to? Who was that? Griff, or I guess that was for Griff.
My friend.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Bart. Spiritual hammer time.
Yeah. Try it once again.
I'll try you again, man. Next round. If you're still alive.
Oh, that's not gonna work.
That one
You
did
haven't
not
ran away.
find its
It's
mark.
just buzzing around now. Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Are you gonna stay where you're at? He's stepped in the doorway a little bit. Any change for Bart?
I think he's gonna hold his ground right here at the moment.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Kurza.
Want to step up in that void when you can?
We're just gonna do the same thing I did before and whack him with more magic missiles.
Okay.
Here's 14 more points of damage. Boom, boom.
Nice.
Come on, man. Take this guy down.
Yeah, he literally had 14 points left. So,
No astonishing.
Oh my goodness.
yeah, he falls over in a big slump here as those hit him, and he falls onto his hammer that he had just swung and was trying to pick up and step forward, and almost simultaneously just falls over into this big slump. So yeah, he's sitting here, laying dead before you, and it's Nod's turn.
Nod will move up to this other one. Is there anything stopping me from just slitting his throat?
Just maybe your urge to taunt him further.
I mean, I would definitely taunt him first. I would taunt him first.
Yeah.
Accidentally kill Baden.
You've got about 5 or 6 rounds to just stare him in the eye and that's just trash talk him, man.
Right.
And
You
as
brought
soon as
this on
you
yourself.
Yep.
Another one marked off my list. Don't worry, I'm coming for the rest as well.
I love it. I love it. And you could, basically bury your sword in him at that point and dispatch of him and disembowel him really on the spot, that he will just, again, join his friend in death. And so, yeah, both of the Minotaurs have been dispatched. The threat is subsided. The party has been victorious. Yeah, so yeah, you remember them definitely. You would have remembered them from a long time ago, Nod, and they look mostly the same to you. Although in some ways it makes you feel, you look at them and you feel like they look younger than you remember, and you start to remember the fact of your aging advancing and feeling like you're a little older than you really are when you look at them. you realize how unaffected they were while you were stumbling around in the tower, and it was advancing your age. It's like more noticeable to you for sure now that you're seeing your peers and that they don't show the same signs of age and stuff. But beyond that, yeah, the Cornice, and I'll add these guys to the creature list, so they'll be in that creature list eventually. But Cornice had the giant hammer. Obviously, that's of interest. He's also got on a pair of bracers. They're metal bracers with some spikes on them. They look pretty likely that he made them. And he's got like a loincloth of the similar armor. So he does get some benefit from wearing armor, but mostly he just was walking around with his giant skin exposed and working in the forge. So he was a strong one for sure, but dead one now.
But his bracers are not anything actually. I guess I can't say magical, but I suppose we would need the mages for that.
Lurks can
What
do
about the
that
other
too.
guy?
Yeah, someone can try to look at this stuff. On the other one, oh, I need to edit this so you guys can see these.
Yep. Clerics aren't as concise, so able to give you detail what types. They're less specific, but we can detect magic.
I thought it was pretty much an identical spell.
I think it's slightly different. No, I'm often wrong though, buddy.
On Toonber, who was the one who was held and then just killed last, he actually has boots and a helmet. He's also got a few more pieces of armor, so really like his style of armor would be like a half plate style of armor that he's wearing.
Oh, you are right there, Wayne.
Occasionally, rarely, that does happen.
Can't get the type of magic.
You'd be surprised at how wrong I am on things any
But you
given day of my
can-
life.
But 10% chance per level to determine the sphere of the magic.
What
Mages are
weapon was
better.
the other one using?
He has a long sword.
I think at the moment we just want to find out and make sure we take the magical items with us.
Bracers.
We can leave the rest behind.
Yeah, longsword. So I think that's what you recover from the bodies themselves.
Need to find a place to hole up again.
And Mithra.
So yeah, just makes me laugh.
Hey, Nod, you could pose them if you wanted to.
I do have one. I'm going to blow my last first level spell on because Griff is hurting.
You might see Nod mutilating the
Yeah.
bodies a little bit, taking their kneecaps, adding it to a necklace or something. And
We still have a
throwing them all in
fortune
the
left.
corner.
I think so.
Yeah, we have one left.
There's my last cure light for
Oh, well-
Griff as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a deuce. Should we just roll the last one for your heal here? My rolls have been crap tonight again. The last 3 heals have been 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, they're rough. What would you guys be thinking that you would be doing next anyway? Are you going to try to rest in this area, or are you gonna try
Need to find a place.
press
I don't know.
forward?
We got that weird wall. We haven't really explored this cavern.
I always say in game though, it hasn't been that much time. Has it?
No, it's not been that much time.
Not at
You
all.
were just sleeping. You
Like
poked
2
your
hours
head
ago?
down a
Less?
few halls, and yeah, I think you've been exploring for maybe an hour or two, right? Like maybe 2-3 hours you've been up. I don't know, something like that is what I was envisioning. But it's not to say you can't rest. It's just that maybe you don't have to. How depleted are you all?
I'm at 19 out of 39 right now. All right, 21. Actually, I'll take those 2.
Right, I know at least the front line we took 13 damage from the hammer.
Yep.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to take those two rather than blow the last.
Well,
Would you be
um,
thinking? Would you be what would if you're not thinking of resting? Would you be investigating the wall or going back?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I would say we
Nod
should
would be
investigate
more
the
paranoid
wall and just to
with
see what's behind it. It may prove to be a good place to hide.
Yeah, and I think like the wall would, everybody's interest would turn to the wall. Baden and Renwick will enter in, and Renwick's kind of given Baden a little bit of flack for ruining his attack. And Baden's, I didn't know where you were. Why didn't you tell us what you were doing? And you need to communicate. And so they're just like bitching and bickering as you guys are coming in here to double check this. And eventually that everyone turns their attention to this wall. You guys could come down and take a closer look at it. It just looks like a natural cave wall, but it's not. And you've already seen through it, thrown things through it. You can definitely try to touch the wall or reach through the wall if you're inclined.
Yes.
I guess before everybody would walk out, Nod would glance inside of these just to see if there was anything worth
that's
value.
what Renwick is going through.
Yeah, he kind of there are blacksmith tools here that would be
These were
of
all the
interest
tools
to
and the-
you, Nod. So
That's
you
true.
basically find like a whole set of blacksmithing tools, like the tongs and hammers and different sized metal.
wheel.
Mm-hmm. So you can fill up on any crafting supplies that you might be thinking of in that regard. Yeah, but otherwise there really wasn't anything like being stored there that wasn't being used for the forge, as far as you could tell. So it was all forge related. However, yeah, I think you guys will walk up to this wall and be checking it out, and eventually maybe stick your hand on the wall and try to touch the wall, and your hand goes right through it as if it's not there. You start to realize that it has a pass through, and Renwick might even be the first one to just suddenly step forward into it and out of your vision. And so I'll move some of these others over here, and I'll put you where it leads. I'll move you first into the space and then into the opening. Yeah, so I think I've got everyone but your pirates over here. And your spiritual hammer I'm gonna delete.
Spiritual hammer.
Okay, and I'll delete I'm gonna leave those corpses there. They might be notable. Yeah, you guys make your way through what is like a secret passageway. It leads into the edge of a different hallway that has a cavern to the south that looks like it's mostly collapsed from the doorway. You can look in and see that only part of the room is accessible, and a lot of the ceiling looks like it's completely crumbled in. That was the same thing you were seeing over here, as if this section had been crushed. But inside of here is like a small little, looks like another storage area where there are a few, in this case, crates sitting in this space. Otherwise, you can see this long hallway. If you're looking through the gem, you don't see anything in this hallway or this cavern immediately that draws your attention.
Might as
Guess
well
I
look
will
and see what's in the boxes, eh?
I'll be certain by checking for traps first, just being wary.
Aha.
No more surprises, we can't afford it.
Yeah.
You're looking for that cliffhanger to end this session on, aren't you?
No, I just wanted to make sure I got you guys through that section. And then here, I think you don't find any traps. Nod, looking around in this section, you don't find any, but you do get your way into some of these crates and flip them open. And in one of the crates, you actually see some more ingots, but these don't appear to be iron. They look like they might be silver.
Definitely. And how many of those are there?
There are about 40 of them total in and amongst all of these crates.
What kind of
and how
ingot?
much do those weigh?
They are, let's see.
Silver.
Are they really silver?
Let's see. These weigh 10 pounds as well. So they're 10 pounds for 1 ingot. And if you want to do an appraising check,
Sure.
each of these you would think is worth probably around 100 gold.
Totally out of character, but this is where a portable hole comes in handy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, if you
Every
had a way
dungeon
to
here's dream.
if you
Need a
had a way to
portable
get
hole.
things back, that would be the way to
Uh-huh.
go. Yeah.
Bag of holding.
Uh-huh.
You'll see Nod load up like 4 more of these silver ingots on his person and stuffing them into different places and pockets and straps. And
You got it. Yeah, so you're loaded up with ingots of all kinds and blacksmithing tools and whatnot. So you could start probably forging right away if you wanted to. But yeah, I think probably with that, I can give you guys a last idea of what you might be thinking that you want to do heading into the end of this session and where we'll start the beginning of next session. Any thoughts on what you would be doing next from here? Continuing to explore, I assume, but
Yeah, and we're trying to find our way out because we got to get Mithra back to a place where we can raise her.
Yep.
But more importantly, we're pretty beat up, and we're trying to find our way back to civilization to tell them all the stuff
What?
we found.
When aren't we? How did we start this conversation 2 hours ago, talking about how constantly beat up we are?
Yeah.
How do we end the session?
yeah, you might be a little beat up
Yeah.
at the moment.
Molly's back next week?
In 2 weeks, I don't know. I don't know if she is or not. Hopefully, I know she had a month to move, so maybe she'll be here or not. But we've got her spot waiting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that's what she mentioned 2 weeks that she wasn't going to be the following week and possibly the week after, which would be now.
Gotcha. Yeah, it sounds
So,
like it's probably right.
it's been a month since she's played with us.
Yeah, it has been, and it'll be good to have her back and to have another capable fighter because Gregor's not that bad. You guys haven't really been able to fight a lot with him, but he's pretty good, pretty capable. So yeah, I guess we'll stop it here. This is probably a good spot. It's been a good solid 3-hour game, and yeah, this seems like a fair enough spot to stop it. It doesn't always have to be on a cliffhanger or anything like
No.
that. And you guys are in a maze, which is a cliffhanger in and of itself. You don't really know where to go next, so it's
I was
fun.
really talking to Nod when he was going to start poking around at the end of session. So you're just going to release something. You're looking for the cliffhanger.
Yeah, yeah,
the mimic.
The mimic, yes.
yeah.
Release the mimic.
I'd say the one thing, if anything, to leave a little bit of a cliffhanger, and maybe Baden would be having a conversation and mentioning this a little bit to you, Kurza, that he's concerned about the wild magic warning and what that could mean as you move forward, particularly for the two of you and anyone else casting. Is definitely may make us more of a liability than an asset when we reach that area. And so we need to be very careful about what we do, that we don't invite harm to the party or misuse our ability and misread when it's safe. So he's like talking over with you maybe some tactics of how you guys might decide to be helpful without casting when you reach that section, because he's not sure that there's any other way. Like, otherwise you'd just have to go in there and cast a spell and see what happens.
Yeah.
I would really be leery of
Right.
like a heal spell in that sort of an area.
Yeah, and so it seems like that way forward is going to be, they're warning you that there's wild magic in that way forward. We'll see what that means.
In that direction, but we're not. We'll see if we go into or towards that area. But yeah, it's definitely
yeah, that was up here. That
worth
was
consideration.
Yeah. All right, we'll call it here. I think we got good notes. We got everybody. Anyone have any questions or anything else they want to mention before we end?
2 weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah, we'll come back and pick up
Just
right
that
here.
I'll be out of the country, I'm afraid. Session.
Cool. Where were you headed again,
Right.
Adam?
I'll be in Ireland for a couple of weeks.
Oh, great. Have fun, man.
man, that's
Have a
cool.
great trip.
Hey, before you go, do you have any healing left?
all tapped out. Yeah.
Yeah. Next
All
session,
tapped
they'll
out.
just find like a Guinness sitting in the hallway, and it'll heal them 1d8. So.
Mhm.
Written in chalk on the wall. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah.